Welcome to Live Daf, your online Daf Yomi Shir.
Shalom Aleichem, welcome back to today's Daf Yomi, which is MOED KATAN Daf Chav Hey, and we're holding at the Mishnah, which is on Chav Daled Amud Beis, 2 lines from the bottom. The Mishnah will be discussing Chol HaMoed, where we try to minimize expressions of Avelus, and therefore, although certain expressions have to be done, Kriya, Chalitza, as we're going to see in the Mishnah, but they're limited to relatives only. Says the Mishnah, Ein Koirin. Typically we don't do Kriya. V'loi Cholzen, and the only ones that do Chalitza, Vein Mavrin, or involved in Sudas Havra, which is that first meal, supplied to the Avel, supplied by others to the Avel. The only ones involved in these activities are Ela Kroivev Shel Meis, the relatives of the Meis. But others don't join in these manifestations of Avelus. Furthermore, Ve'ein Marvin, the only way you're meant to do the Sudas Havra on Chol HaMoed is Ela Al Mitat Zukufa, on an upright bed. Typically it's on an overturned bed, but here we keep the bed upright. We minimize our expressions of Avelus because of the Moed. Asks the Gemara, you mean to say Vavilu Chacham, even if a Chacham passes away on Chol HaMoed, only the relatives who will be involved in Avelus, in Kriya, nobody else? V'atanya, listen to this brayso. Chacham shemeis, a Chacham passes away, Hakol Kroivav, all are considered to be his relatives. What do you mean? Hakol Kroivav Salkadaitach? Do you really mean everybody is his relative? Ela Hakol Ki Kroivav. We mean that all conduct themselves as though they were relatives to this Chacham. They lament his loss, they feel his absence. Hakol Kairin Olav, all do Kriya when he passes away. Hakol Cholzen Olav, they all expose their shoulder for him. Hakol Mavrin Olav, they involve themselves in these Sudas Havra. Beruchava, they have this meal out in the plaza. And even Chol HaMoed, all are considered relatives. The Mishnah says only actual relatives will be involved in Kriya. Litzrich apparently was speaking to Lav Chacham. He wasn't the Chacham, therefore only relatives are involved in the Avelus process. What do you mean? V'yadam kashru. Even if he's not a Chacham, but he's an upright fellow. Everybody has to be Korea when he passes away. The Sanya. Why do we find that one's young children die young? To ensure, to enable to push him, to motivate him, to cry and to mourn when Adam Kasher passes away. Asks the Gemara, what do you mean? Yivka bis Abel, you're taking away his children so that in the future he participates in the Avelus of Adam Kasher. Arvoina Koshakim, you're taking a collateral before the fact, you're taking you're already punishing him now so that in the future he'll act properly. Ella, rather we might like this. The reason why he might lose his children is as an oynish, because he did not partake in the Avelus of Adam Kasher. Because anybody that participates in the Avelus and the Bechia on account of an Adam Kasher's passing, he merits Mechilas Avonis. Why? Bishvil Kavod Sha'asaloi, because of this great honor that he did for this Adam Kasher. No, so if this fellow who passed away is an Adam Kasher, all are obligated to join in the Avelus, even a non-relative. And even on Chol HaMoed. Answers the Gemara, apparently we're speaking the Lav Adam Kasher. He was not an Adam Kasher, he wasn't a person that fits this bill, in which case only relatives are involved. Okay, but still, but if he was present when this fellow passed away, even if he's a non-relative, a perfect stranger, he must do Kriya. The Sanya. Rabbi Shimon ben Elazar Omer, whoever is present when a person passes away, Chayev L'Kroy has to tear his clothing. Lama is a daima. You know what it's compared to? L'Sefer Torah Shenisra. It's like a Sefer Torah that was burnt. Shechayev L'Kroy, upon which a person needs to do Kriya. What's the connection between a person and a Sefer Torah? Says Rashi in the top line. The Sefer Torah, the Torah Kriya Ner. Ner is a term applied to Torah. Shenemar ki ner mitzvah, the Torah. And likewise, uneshama. Nikras ner, dechsev, ner Hashem nishmas adam. So when a person passes away, a ner is taken away, it says, oh, Sefer Torah is taken away. Others learn because a Yisrael, a Yid, when he's alive, he actualizes the words of the Torah. He applies it through keeping Torah mitzvahs. So when he's gone, it says, oh, the Sefer Torah has been deactivated. A third pshat, some say, is just like a Sefer Torah. How do you write a Sefer Torah? Ink on parchment. Likewise, there's a neshama. The neshama is in the guf, embedded in the guf, like the words of the Torah on the parchment. When the neshama separates from the guf, it says, oh, the Sefer Torah was nisraf. So if that was so, he was there, b'shas yitzias neshama, he has to do kriya, even on Chol HaMoed. Apparently we're speaking, that wasn't the case, he wasn't there, and therefore it's just a regular person, not a chacham, not a kosher, and he wasn't there b'shas yitzias neshama, in which case only relatives will conduct these avelus activities and nobody else. Now regarding an adam kosher, it would seem from our Gemara that everybody has to do kriya. We don't paskin like that because there's another Gemara in Shabbos which indicates that there is no chiyuv kriya on adam kosher. Avelus yet, but not chiyuv kriya. Continues the Gemara. Ki noch nafshei Rav Safra. When Rav Safra passed away, the Rabbanan didn't do kriya for him. Amri, they said, look, we haven't learned anything from him. He wasn't our Rebbe. Amarhu Abai responded, Mi Tanya harav shemes. Does the Brisa then say a Rav, meaning your own personal teacher, passes away, then you have to participate in Avelus? Chacham shemes Tanya. Even just a Chacham requires Avelus. Void. In addition, he's really your Rebbe. You've learned a lot from him. Called Yom every day Shmait say Bipumin Bibei Midrasha. His halachas are expressed. We speak his words in the Beis HaMedrash. Certainly, you meant to do kriya when he passes away. Okay, Savar, they figured, too late. My dava hava, we missed the opportunity. It's no longer the shas chimum. Kriya is inappropriate at this later date. Amrlu Abai, Abai responded, no, that's not so. Tanina, we learned in a brayso, chacham. When it comes to a chacham, it's an ongoing tragedy. Kol zman sho'iskin behesped. As long as they're involved in hesped on his behalf, chayav on the kriya is appropriate. Okay, so they figured, let's do kriya. Savra l'mikra altar. We'll do kriya right now. Abai, again, Abai responds, not so fast. Tanya, however, we have a brayso which says, chacham, kvoidoi behesped. The true chacham, according to a true kavod, given to a chacham is through hesped. Let's sit down, let's make a hesped, and during the hesped, we will do kriya. Kinoch nafshid Rav Huna. When Rav Huna passed away, Sover, they figured lo suve sefer Torah puri, the place of sefer Torah on the mita upon which he was lying, and then they could say kiim zeh mashakasa bazeh as they did by Chizkiyahu HaMelech. We're in Basra. That's the best. You can't get a better hesped. He was Mekayim, fulfilled everything that says in this Torah. Best hesped in just a couple of words. So they wanted to place the Sefer Torah on the bed itself. Amul Rav Chizda tells them, no, don't do that. Milsa, this is something the Bechaye lo Yisrael during his lifetime. Rav Huna objected to this type of practice. Hashta leikim le'avid. Does it make sense? We're going to take the Sefer Torah and put it on his bed against his wishes. What was he referring to? What happened during his lifetime? The Amar of Tachlifa. I once noticed Rav Huna as follows. The boy Lemesa Apuriya, he wanted to sit down on his bed, and he noticed the Sefer Torah sitting on the bed. He refused to sit down. The Kaf Kada, he took a Kada pitcher and he overturned it on the floor. Va'isiv Sefer Torah, and he placed the Sefer Torah on that pitcher. Apparently he holds that Osra Leishev Al Gabi Mita Sefer Torah Munachaleh. One is not meant to sit on a Mita together with the Sefer Torah. So, although he actually brought down halacha, in some cases there's a Makam Lahakal in a Beis Medrash when it's tight quarters and you have a sefer on a chair on a bed. Perhaps you can sit on the same level in some such situations, but apparently Rav Huna was not going to be mekel. In any case, he disallowed it. He refused to sit down on this bed, and therefore, says Rav Chizda, You can't do it to him after death. Skip the placement of the Sefer Torah in his bed. Okay. Lo yavanafik purya mibava. The bed upon which Rav Huna was lying was too large. It wouldn't make it out the doorway. Savar l'shul shule. They figured, let's transport a derech gagan through the rooftop, through the skylight. We'll figure some other way of transporting the bed, not out the main door. Amulu Rav Chizda, once again Rav Chizda responds, don't do that. Because I personally learned from him himself. Rav Huna taught me chacham kvoidei. The ideal way of according honor to a chacham is derech pesach through the front door, not through some side skylight. So what should we do now? The bed is too big for the door. Savur lashnuye mipur the purya. They feel, okay, let's transport him from one bed to a smaller bed, which will fit out the door. Rav Chizda, once again, Rav Chizda says, no, we can't do that either. Because I have actually learned from Rav Huna. Chacham kvoida b'mitur rishayna. It is covered for the chacham to carry him out in that same bed that he was nifter on, not to transport him, to move him around from one bed to the other. We have a source for this concept. How do we know that you're meant to maintain the covet of the chacham by leaving him in the first bed? Shanamar. This was when the Plishtim returned the Arain with the Luchais, and they brought it back and they took it to Yerushalayim. Vayarkivu es Arain alakim el agola chadash. Right, so they took the Aron Elakim with the Agola Chadasha, which was sent by the Plishtim. They didn't change the location. They left it on that Agola, the way it was sent from the Plishtim. Apparently not meant to transport a Davar Kodesh from one place to the other, leave it in its set place. And therefore here as well, you have to leave him on that Purya, on that bed, despite the fact that it's too wide for the door. So what did they do? They were stuck. Parus bava vavkua. So they broke open the doorway, made room for the bed, widened the door, and they took the bed out. Okay, so now it's time for hesped. Rabbi Abba began speaking. Ro'oi hoya Rabbeinu. The truth is that our Rabbi Rav Huna was deserving. She'tishral of Shechina, that the Shechina should rest on him. Ela shebavel garmale, because he was in Bavel, he couldn't be zeicha. The Makim withheld that inhibited that ability. It wasn't his personal deficiency, it was the Makim that wouldn't allow it. There's no Ashras Shechina in Bavel. Apparently he's speaking about a Nevuah, some high level of Ruach HaKodesh. And that couldn't happen in Bavel. Mosiv Rav Nachum Bar Chizda. So Rav Nachum, the son of Rav Chizda, asked the following question. Some say it was Rav Chana Bar Rav Chizda. We have a pasuk which indicates otherwise. Yecheskel HaNavi experienced Nevuah where? In Bavel. So we see that Nevuah can occur in Bavel. So his father, Rav Huna, gave him a little a tap on his sandal. In jest, he says, look, don't ask these questions. Haven't I already told you? Don't make things difficult with these questions. I'll tell you the answer. My hoya. When the pasuk says hoya dvar Hashem al Yecheskel and Buzi, that's because hoya kvar. He already experienced Nevuah in Eretz Yisrael, and therefore it carried over into Bavel. But to initiate Nevuah in Bavel doesn't happen. Ki Yaskol lahasam, it transported Rav Huna's mita to Eretz Yisrael, and when he arrived in Eretz Yisrael, Amrulei. So there were people there that told the Rav Amir of Asi. They told them that we have a guest, Rav Huna Asi. Rav Huna arrived, and they figured he was still alive. He came to visit. They didn't know that he passed away. Amru, so they said, oh my, he said, Ki avina nasam. When we were in Bavel back in the old days, we couldn't lift our heads. We were embarrassed. We were intimidated by Rav Huna. Now that we came to Eretz Yisrael, we got away from him. Asa Basrain, he comes and follows us. So they the people followed up and they said, no, Aroinabo. His coffin arrived. He already passed away. Rab Amir of Asi. So Both of them went out to greet him, to be malav him. However, Rav Ila, Rav Chanina, loy nafak, they remained inside. They didn't go greet the meet. Ikadamri, some say it was Rabbi Ila nafak. He went out. Rav Chanina loy nafak, he stayed behind. Why? What happened here? The nafak, the one who went out, my time, what was his reason? The sign of a brayse. If an oren is being transported from one place to the other, you meant to go out and give him kavod, apply all the avelus procedures. So the relatives stand in line. The avelim, the menachim, the crowd stands in line, and the avelim pass by, and they get comforted. And they say the bracha for the avelim. So that's why he went out to participate in this ceremony. What about the other man, the Amma, who didn't go out? Why? The Sanya, we have in a Braisa that just the opposite. If an urn is passing through, we don't do these avelus things. That's why he stayed behind. Now we have a stira, kashin adadi. One Braisa maintains you go out to greet the urn, whereas in Braisa 2 we say stay behind. Like kasha, the answer is it all depends on the situation and how intact the mace is. Kan sheshilda kayemis, if his structure, if his skeleton is still intact, so avelus applies at that point. Kan b'she'en shilda kayemis, but if it's already so advanced, his shelled, his structure, his skeleton is no longer intact, it's too far gone. At that point, avelus tanchumen is not really relevant. Perhaps the point is that many of these things we do. Tanchume avelim, birchas avelim, is not only to comfort the survivors, but it's meant to provide benefit for the neshama, for the nefesh. Somehow it affects him as well, and that only works up to a certain point where the nefesh is still connected to the guf and he's still intact. But past that point, it's irrelevant. And what happened was, in this case with Rav Huna shilda kayemas hava. He was a tzaddik, his body was intact, and therefore avelus was still in place. But the loy nafak, the one who refused, who didn't go out, why? The loy simu kamed, because he never heard they didn't conclude the story. He never heard the very important detail that we just mentioned, that he was shilda kayemas. They thought he was was already past that stage, and therefore he mistakenly stayed behind. So he arrived in Eretz Yisrael. Where are we going to bury him? Amri, so they were discussing, Heicha Ninche, where should we bury him? They figured, okay, we have a perfect spot. Tzaddik is meant to be buried by another tzaddik. So Rav Huna was rebates Torah Yisrael. Rav Huna taught much Torah amongst Klal Yisrael. He disseminated Torah. And Rav Chia as well. Rav Chia, famous Rav Chia, Gdoile Masachia, right? He taught the kids, 5 kids, each one a chumash, 6 boys, each one to say the Mishnah. He told them to teach each other. He went up to the next town, did the same thing. So he did a tremendous amount to ensure the continuity of Torah in Klal Yisrael. Rav Chia rebates Torah Yisrael, and they figured, perfect shidduch, let's place Rav Huna near Rav Chia. Rav Chia was a Hava, right? So man ma'ale, who's going to bury Rav Huna? Who's going to be zeicha to do that? Amr Rav Chaga. So Rav Chaga says, I'll do it. I'll offer my services. I know my lanale, I'll take him into the, perhaps there was a ma'ara, a cave there, I'll bring him in there. I'm worthy of doing that, because I had established, I attained clarity in my learning already way back when, when I was merely 18 years old. I reviewed my learning, I absorbed it completely. In fact, I didn't have any Tumas Keri. And actually, I was Mishamish, I served Rav Huna v'yadi be'ovdi, and I'm fully familiar and acquainted with his tzidkus, with his masim tovim. So I'm close to him, I'm familiar with him, and I'll do the job. D'yom echad, and this is an example of one of the masim tovim that he saw by Rav Huna. One day, is haficha le ritzur the tefillin. The ritzur of the tefillin got flipped over. First, say we're speaking about the ritzur that wraps around the head itself, not the one hanging down, and the section of the ritzur that loop around the arm. So that's meant to be in place. You're meant to make sure that the black part is facing outward. And one day, inadvertently, his ritzur got flipped. And he took it to heart, V'yosev arboin tanisa, and he conducted 40 fast days as a result. So he had a tremendous level of tzidkus and chasidus. And this is why I observed by him, and I was close to him. Let me bury him. So Eile, he took him into the makam of the kvura, perhaps. Again, we're speaking about a cave. That's why it says Eile took him in. He took him into Rav Chia's cave. Who was lying there aside from Rav Chia? His two sons. Havagon Yehuda Mimina. Yehuda was lying on the right side of Rav Chia. Mimina Davua. V'Chizkiah and his son Chizkiah on the left. Mismaili. Armali Yehuda l'Chizkiah. So Yehuda turns to his brother Chizkiah. So the Shamas were conversing. Get up. The lav erach ara. It's inappropriate. It's not the erach. The kaim Rav Huna. Here Rav Huna is standing, and we're just lying here. So here Rav Huna is coming into the ma'ara, right? In the ara. Now we're just lying here. We have to get up in his honor. Bahada the kaim. So as Chizkiah was getting up, come bahadei amuda denur, a flash of light came up with him. Chazir of Chaga, notice this. Ivis, he got petrified. Zakfe la'aroine, so he took Rav Huna's aron and he erected it upright to block himself, to protect himself from this fire. V'nafig us, and he ran out. V'haidloi anish anish. The reason why he wasn't harmed from this fire, the Zakfe la'aroine Rav Huna, because he blocked himself with the aron of Rav Huna, who protected him. Zok the Gemara vayt. Ki nochnav sheder Rav Chizda passed away. He was the Talmud of Rav Huna. Once again, Sover lo suve sefer Torah puri. They figured, let's place a sefer Torah on his bed and make that declaration. Ki eim zeh, he fulfilled masher kasav bezeh, everything contained in this Torah. So they wanted to do that. Amol Rav Yitzchak responded, no, don't do it. Milsa de la Rabbi l'sfirle. Something that his Rebbe doesn't agree with. His Rebbe Rav Huna objected to this type of thing. Anan nekum na'avelei. We're going to do it to his Talmud. We can't do it. Okay. Savar de leil mishlo karai. So the Talmidim tore their clothing. Kriya. Look, he was torn away from us. They did Kriya. And they figured, you're not allowed to fix it up. You can't even do this temporary stitch, which is called shlila, shalom. Amul Rav Yitzchak responded, again, you have it wrong. Different Yitzchak. Amul Rav Yitzchak Ami. By the Kriya of a Chacham, it works like this. Kivan sheichziru pnei ma'achorei hamita. Once they turn back from the mita, shedulin, they're allowed to stitch up the Kriya. So Shlila is referring to like a temporary, improvised stitch. That's okay. Ki nochnav she de Rabba Barhuna. Apparently, Rabba, the son of Rav Huna and Rav Huna Mnuna, passed away at the same time, and they were being transported to Eretz Yisrael. Askin ulasam, they were bringing them up to Eretz Yisrael. Kimoto agishra. So when they came to this single planked bridge, through which you need to go single file, kamu gamli, the camels who were carrying the coffins of Rav Mnuna and Rabba bar Rav Huna just froze. They stopped. Amalu Hawataya. So this Ishmaeli who was driving the camels is wondering, "My hi, what's going on here? What's the? Why are we stopping middle of the road here?" Amrulay, so they explained to him, "You don't understand what's going on. There's a whole debate going on between the neshamas. Rabbanon de Ka'avdi Yikra Hadadi. The Rabbanon, meaning Rav Amnuna and Rabba, are having a whole discussion. They're trying to give each other covered. You go first. No, you go first. Mar Amar, one of them says, Mar Neil Beresha, you should go first. Or Mar Amar, and the other one says, Mar Neil Beresha, no, you should go first. So we're stuck here. And that's why we froze. Amar, so the driver says, I'm gonna decide for you. Do you know who I think it's appropriate, it's proper, the Rabba Bar Huna, Leil Beresha. I think Rabba Bar Huna should go first. And Farshim said, because both were Chachamim. Rabba and Rav Huna both Chachamim. Chacham and Chacham, he deserves to go first. Okay. Chalef Gamle de Rabba Bar Huna. So Rabba went first. His camel went first. And what happened to the Ishmaeli? He was punished. He shouldn't have mixed in. It wasn't his business. Nosur kache b'shine da utaya. So this Taya's teeth fell out. Kachei, perhaps the back, the wisdom, Vishanei, the front teeth. So his teeth suddenly fell out as an einish for having mixed into the discussion here and putting his 2 cents, which was really a bizayin for Ramnuna. He had no business giving his opinion. Okay, so they brought the tzaddikim to Eretz Yisrael, and they began with the hesped. Pasach alei hahu yenuka. So this young fellow started saying a hesped, and it was directed at Rabba bar Rav Huna. Geza yishishim olam bebavel, one that stems from important people, G'dolim Chachamim. This is a reference to Rabba, the son of Rav Huna, who was a Rosh Goyla in Bavel. Olam of Bavel. He came up from Bavel. The Imayim with him. Who came with him? Rav Amnuna, Sefer Mochames. Rashi says, it means Sefer Torah. Why is it called Sefer Mochames? Perhaps because it allows you to fight the Yetzer Hara. In any case, it was a reference to the other tzaddik Rav Amnuna who came along with Rabba. Kas v'kipoid huchpelu. Look what kind of sorrow we're in, what kind of klala we're experiencing. Kas is some sort of creature, kippur, I think a porcupine. They've arrived. This is a lashon of klala, meaning in a desolate, abandoned area you find all these creatures. So this is just an expression of distress. We're now distressed. We're abandoned. Lirois b'shoid v'shever haba v'shinner. They've come to take a look at the shoid v'shever, this tragedy that befell us, that arrived from Shinar, reference to Bavel, to which the Mesi Mabul drained. That's why it's called Shinar. Rashi and Chumash brings it Sheninaru Sham Mesi Mabul. Kotzav Aleilom Hashem expressed anger on his word v'chamas mimenu nefashes, and grabbed away 2 nefashes. V'samach behem, and actually Hashem rejoiced in their arrival in heaven. Kekala chadash, like a new kala. Roichev Araves. Sas v'sameach. Hashem was the Roichev Araves who rides on the heavenly chariot. Sas v'sameach b'boy elov nefesh naki v'tzadik. He's certainly joyous and full of simcha upon the arrival of a nefesh naki v'tzadik. Naki means clean from any bein adam l'chaveroi deficiencies v'tzadik, and is also pure with bein adam lamok. Continues the Gemara. Kinoch navshe de Ravina, when Ravina passed away, pasach aleyahu siftana, a certain maspid began his hesped in the following manner. Tomorrow hini urosh, the palm trees should nod their heads. Al tzadik katamar, upon the passing of a tzadik katamar. Why is a tzadik equated to a tamar? The Gemara Sukkah speaks about a tamar having one lave, only one heart. Hearts of palm, one heart directed at Hashem. A tzadik is fully committed emotionally to Hashem. Nosim leilos kiyamim, we have to spend nights as days eulogizing Ravina. Al meisim leilos kiyamim, in honor of Ravina, a tremendous tzaddik who learned full nights just as days. Amali Rav Ashi bar Kipuk. Bar Kipuk was a professional maspid. So Rav Ashi asks him, I have a question for you. Ahu yoima, on that day, when I pass away, my amras, what are you going to say? Are you preparing for my hesped? What are you going to say? Amar he tells him like this. Perhaps this is going to be a musa to Rav Ashi, to make it real. You know, the Chavetz Chaim used to get up, used to overhear him in the attic, as he used to play it all out. Yisrael Meir, what did you do your whole life? As though he's sitting in Ilma Emes in Yeshiva Shamala, and how much did you learn? That's way less than your potential, and he used to go on, berating himself as though it was a real court case going on. He made it real, he made it reality. And at the end he used to say, okay, he's so deficient, but Yisrael Meir, you're still living. Chat Parayin, go ahead, go back to the Gemara. There's a Baron Rothschild, they say he had a pit dug out for him, the size of a caver, and every day he used to go lie down to envision what it's going to feel like after all the wealth and property, everything is gone, just him in the grave. And this allows him to put things in perspective, to be Oved Hashem b'simcha, the true simcha of simcha tzadikim Hashem. So I have a question, I'm curious, what are you going to do by my hesped? Do you have any idea? You have it prepared for me? Amalei says, actually, this is what I'm going to say. I have an obituary prepared, ready to go. Amalei Amina, this is what I'm about to say. When you pass away, I'm going to say, Imba Rosa Nofesh Al Heves. Look, fire has affected the great cedar trees, great tzaddikim. Look, if that happened, who are we? Ma yasu ezevikir. What are the ezevikir, the little grasses growing off the walls? What are they going to do? If the tzaddikim are vulnerable, certainly, so are we. Leviathan, this great fish, the Leviathan, Bechikahula, was trapped in a trap. Mayasu doge rekak. What are the little puddlefish going to do? Benachal sheitif nafal chakal. This raging river was dried out. Mayasu gave. What are the little puddles going to do? These pits are going to, the water in the little pits, certainly they're going to dry out. If a tzaddik was taken away, certainly we're all vulnerable. Death is imminent. Rabbi said, let's put things in perspective. Amalei bar Abin. So there was a competing Baal Maspid. So he turns to Bar Kifak. This we're going to say, nah, it's inappropriate. Chas v'shalom, these words should not be applied to a tzaddik. The chaka v'shal heves b'tzaddike, we're speaking about a trap, a flame, these things, you shouldn't be mentioning it when it comes to tzaddikim. They don't dry up, they don't get trapped. Chika v'shal heves b'tzaddike amina, no. Umay Amar, so I asked him, so what do you have in mind? What would you say? Amina, this is what I would say. Rabbi Yisai, bechula avelim. You should cry in participation of the tsar that the avelim are going through, the ones that are left behind. Don't cry for the aveda, for the departed, the one that was lost. He's not suffering. He's arrived at his resting place. He's having a good time in Gan Eden. But us la'anacha, we're sighing. We're left behind. This is what you should say when a tzaddik passes away. This is what you should say when Rav Ashi passes away. Rav Ashi, hearing this, didn't feel too good. Cholosh daiti alai, he felt bad. Marshal explains because, here he's calling me a flame overtook the tree. Here he's saying I'm an aveda, I'm lost. I'm not lost. Marshal says that tzaddik has asharas hanefesh, he lives on. He didn't like these references. And as a result of him feeling bad, they were punished. Vishapuch karayu, and their legs got disfigured. Hahu yaima. And it so happens to be that day that Rav Ashi passed away. They didn't come to the hesped, they kept far away. Behind the Rav Ashi, in reference to the story where the Maspidim's feet got damaged, got disfigured, Rav Ashi said an interesting halach. When it comes to chalitza, right, where a man passes away childless, his wife is yivama, so the brother has to take over, either yibum or they remove the shoe, and it has to be in a very specific way, off the foot, a properly figured foot. But loy bar kipuk chalitz bar kipuk, due to his disfigured foot, cannot be involved in chalitza. And likewise, v'loy bar avin, his competition as well, he can't either be involved in chalitza, v'loy bar avin chalitz. And here's the Gemara. Rava was once traveling, and Kiava Asal Diglis, when he came to the river Diglis, he was faced with a body of water. He wanted to pass. He wanted to daven to Hashem that he passes through safely. Amalei bar Abin, so he turned to Bar Abin, who was nearby. Kum milsa, perhaps he can offer a nice tefillah, poetic tefillah to Hashem. So he got up and he said like this: Hashem, bo roiv shlishis b'mayim. Most of the shlishis is Klal Yisrael. Rashi says Yisrael nikru shlishis. Klal Yisrael is split into three categories. Kehanim will be Yisraelim. They come from Yaakov Avinu, the third born. The number 3 stands very prominent in Torah and Klal Yisrael. So Rabbah, who is the Roiv Shlishis, why Roiv? Why is he the majority? Rashi says Rabbah is Shakal. He's equated Ki Roiv Yisrael, such a big tzaddik like Roiv of Yisrael. Look, he's facing water. Bo Roiv Shlishis b'mayim Zoche v'rachem Hashem. Remember, recall, and bring out Rachmanis. Watch over us. Although we strayed from you, like a woman straying from her husband, but still, don't abandon us, and have us experience the bitterness of the meimara, of the water that the Saita drinks. Please, Hashem, watch over us. Let us get through this body of water safely. Rabbi Chanan was a son-in-law, Chasnei de Benesiav, the son-in-law of the base of the Nasi. He had no children. Like Kahavule Bani, he had no son, no children. Boy Rachmi, he davened hard, Vahavule, and he gave birth to, he had a child. Hahu Yaima Dahavule, that very day, that his wife gave birth. Nachnaf, she passed away. Pasach alei osavdana. So the maspid began as follows: Simcha letuga nefcha. Look, joy, happiness became transformed to sadness. Sasan v'yogan idbaku. The joy, the ecstasy of the sasan, some say, referring to the milah, v'yogan, and the stress, happiness, nidbaku, they merged together. Be'esh simchasai nenach. That very moment of his simcha, when he gave birth to a child, nenach, he ended up sighing be'esh chaninasai. At that moment when Hashem granted his request, avad chaninai, the one who asked for it, the father who petitioned Hashem for this son, went missing. Asiku lechanan al shmei, they gave the child the name Chanan after the father. Some say it wasn't exactly like the father, whose name was Chanin, because not meant to give a name after one who passes away in a tragic circumstance. So they gave a similar name, Chanan. Ki noch nafshi Rav Yechon. Rav Yechon passed away. Pasach alei. Rabbi Yitzchak ben Elazar started speaking as follows: Koshayim Yisrael. This is a very hard day for Klal Yisrael, a tragic day. Kiyoim boy hashemesh b'tzorayim. Just as though the sun would set midday. Suddenly got dark. We lost our source of light. Rabbi Yechon. D'chsiv v'haya b'yom ahu v'nivesi hashemesh b'tzorayim. On that day, the day that Yeshayahu HaTzadik will pass away, I will set the sun midday. But Rabbi Yechon himself said, what is that referring to? Zayyomai Shel Yeshayahu, that's the day Yeshayahu passed away. And the little sunset. Tzaddik is a source of bracha, a source of light. Tzaddik passes away, it's dark. Ki noch nafshei Rabbi Yechon. Rabbi Yechon passed away. Yosef Rabbi Ami Shiva Shleishim. Rabbi Ami, a Talmud, conducted a full Avelus program. Shiva and Shleishim, the full schedule. Amar Rabbi Abba Brei Rab Chia Bar Abba. You should know that Rabbi Ami, although he did that, Rabbi Ami the Avad legamrei David. Whatever he did was his own personal opinion. It's not required. The Hachi Amar Rab Chia Bar Abba Rabbi Yechon. Rabbi Yechon himself did not mandate it. Afilu Rabbi Shlem de Chachma. Even if he experienced the loss of a Rebbe who taught him Chachma, Eini Yeshiv Olav El Yom Echad. It only requires a one-day Avelus, and even then it's mixed Yom Kippur. You don't need an extensive Avelus of Shiva Shleishim. Ki noch nafshei Rab Zera. Rab Zera passed away. We know Rab Zera was born in Bavel. Then he moved to Eretz Yisrael. That's why he's called Rav Zera for the time that he lived in Bavel. Rebbe Zera for when he lived in Eretz Yisrael. When he passed away and he was transported to Eretz Yisrael for burial. This maspid began as follows: Eretz Shinar, referring to Bavel, where the Mesei Mabel drained to. Sheninaru Sham Mesei Mabel. So Eretz Bavel Hara was expecting V'yolda and gave birth. That's where he was born. Eretz Tzvi is Eretz Yisrael, equated to the deer, which accommodates its flesh. Eretz Yisrael accommodates its inhabitants. Eretz Yisrael Gidlo Shashuea raised the dear children of Bavel. Raised Reb Zera. That's where he developed. Oyna la amra Rekes. Rekes is Tveria. Perhaps he lived there. Oh, woe to me, says Rekes. Ki of the Kli Chamdasa Eretz Yisrael, or that Rekes lost its precious Kli. Continues the Gemara, and the way Maharsha explains the next Gemara, there's a common denominator, a common thread tying together all these phenomenons. We know that at Tzaddik's presence enhances, brings bracha, protects, supports. And in fact, in the Talmud, when the Tzaddik goes missing, it affects all surroundings. It has a detrimental effect, even on a Gashmistic sense. Ki noch nafshi de Ravavo. When Ravo passed away, Achisu Amudei de Kisri Maya, the pillars in the town of Kisri where he lived, started shedding water, started crying. He was the support, the pillar of the town. The Rav Yesi, when Rav Yesi passed away, Shafu Marzeve the Tzipuri Dama, the eave troughs in Tzipuri started flowing blood instead of water. As a sign of bracha, it changed to dam, a sign of din, of gvura, of punishment, of tsar. The Rabbi Yaakov, when he passed away, is chamiu koich v'biyimama. You could see it got so dark, you can see the stars midday. The Rav Asi, iakru kalilanaya, all the trees in his town got uprooted. The Rav Chia, nechisu kipi denur merkia, these fiery stones came flying down from Shemayim. The Rav Nachman Rabbi Yosi, what happened then? Ishto tzalmanaya, all the forms, statues, and figures found on coins got disfigured or flattened out. Vahavu, they turned into just flat, smooth, as though they were smoothed out by this trowel, by this flattener. So Rashi says, what's the connection? It's because he had lost his tzura, passed away, so all the tzuras were affected as well. When he passed away, all the statues suddenly fell apart. Rabbi Yashiv, when he passed away, in the town of Ado, suddenly all the thieves got busy. 70 tunnels were dug throughout the town into the banks, which didn't happen when he was around, and he protected the town from all misfortune. The Rav Hamnuna, when he passed away, Nachisu Kipi the Barda Merkia, these hailstones, Kipi the Barda of Barad came down from Shemayim. The Rabbi Rav Yosef, when they passed away, Noshuk Kipi the Pras Adodi. So Kipi the Pras, Rashi says, are the pillars holding up the bridges of Paras. They suddenly started swaying and bumping into each other because these tzaddikim held up the town. They supported the town. There was support. And when they passed away, things started falling apart. Dabayev Rava Noshuk Kipi the Diglas Adadi. Likewise in Diglas, the Kipi, the Diglas, the beams holding together the bridges, suddenly started bumping into each other. And finally, when he passed away, Ton Dikli, the palm trees, started bearing instead of dates, shitzi, sheitzi, koitzim, thorns started growing. Bottom line is that Tzadik's presence brings about bracha, atzlach, and protection. And when they were gone, there was a void, and that was felt even in a very real gashmistic manner. Once heard a story that happened way back when with the first Belzer Rav, the Sar Shalom. So the town was looking for some Rav to inspire them, to lead them. And they hired the Rav. They gave him a 5-year plan, a 5-year contract as a trial. And he wasn't the most charismatic, imposing, loud figure. He would sit in his room in his beis medrash and learn and daven, big tzaddik. But he wasn't necessarily what they were looking for. After 5 years, some Balabatim weren't happy with him. They came and said, "Look, as great as you are, we appreciate your greatness, but it's not what we're looking for. We need somebody to inspire us, to get up and give a good drasha on the shul, to make some noise, make waves, and you're just minding your own business. We're not sure we want to continue." So he says to them, "Look, I'm not going to tell you what to do, but I just want to ask you a question. In the last 5 years, were there any break-ins in town? Any burglaries?" He said, "No." "In the last 5 years, any fires?" I'm thinking, "No, I don't remember any." He says, "Look, I'm not your most charismatic figure, not your most outgoing personality, but the fact is, we know by Messiah that the presence of Eved Hashem, who's immersed in Torah and Tefillah and Avodah, has an effect, has a ripple effect on his environment. The town is protected, is inspired, and protected even in a real Gashmis sense. No fires, no break-ins. That's what it's all about. Not always is it tangible. Sometimes it's something beneath the surface they don't see, but it's really there. In Gashmis and Ruchnis as well, certainly. There's inspiration reverberating through the town because of the tzaddik, because of the yeshiva, because of the koil in town. Hearing that, they said, "Okay, you're rehired." Okay, so today's daf was pretty much a one-track daf. We discussed various types of hesped. My chavrusa, Rabbi Cohen said, Rabbi Weiss, he said hesped is the same letters as hefsid. That's what you express during the hesped. You express the loss, the void felt upon the passing of a loved one or a tzaddik. So we have various types of hespedim, and we concluded with the power of the tzaddik to protect his surroundings. All the best to you and much hatzlacha.